Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of my guide series on Entropia Universe. In this one, I want to go over uh, a slight economical thing when it comes to hunting. We know from the last video when I mentioned it, when you're hunting, you want to be a little bit eco. You basically don't want to spend too much money, and you want to try to make back as much as you can in stuff. So there's two things you can do to limit the amount that you spend when hunting. The two main ones are if you're hunting low mobs, don't worry about wearing armor and don't worry about using your healing item. Those are the two main ones that most people touch on when it comes to being economical while hunting. Don't use your healing item and don't use your armor if you're hunting low mobs. But there's two that I wanted to touch on in this episode, which is shrapnel and sweat. Now, this is specifically for new players. Most of you guys that are veterans or even have played the game for a little bit, like a decent amount of time, you'll already know this crap. So don't worry about this. You could just turn off, go watch some Serial Overdrive or something else. This, I'm going to be specifically talking about how sweat and universal ammo will be economical to you as a new Entropia player. Being economical, why do we want to be economical? We were going to touch on that first. Why exactly do we, as players, want to be economical? One, we want to try to make a little bit of a profit. I know I've already said that you don't worry about making a profit, just enjoy the game. But if you want to get into it seriously for even just for fun, that idea of making a profit in game, even if we never get to take that money out of the game, being able to make a profit is always fun because it brings joy and life and love. So you want to make a profit and you don't want to spend too much money. Those are the two things of why you should be eco. Alright, so I'm going to touch on why sweat and shrapnel should be the cornerstones of being eco while hunting puny mobs, small guys. First, we're going to touch on universal ammo. Now, we're going to be using the exact same analogy for both of these things, right? We're going to use a hypothetical hunt. Say you've decided to go out and use 10 PED worth of ammo to hunt a creature. Say you've already got a weapon that you're using. Say you're using an Apollo, which takes fucking forever to decay. So say you're using an Apollo and you're like, the decay might only be like 20 pack. That's fine, I can deal with that. I'm not using armor. Cool, don't have to worry about that. Not going to use my healing device. Being super eco. Then you go out and you hunt and say you got back 10 PED worth of shrapnel. That's pretty good. Mixed with the other stuff that you would have gotten from, especially if you're hunting these puny guys up here, you would have gotten some muscle oil, you would have gotten some Calypso bone samples. The Calypso bone samples you can sell for about 1 PEC each to other players. And let's say you got an extra 1 PED worth of muscle oil. Cool! That's good times. You made that little bit of a profit. Now, you got to figure out what you're going to be doing. Say you decide that you're going to continue hunting. Cool. Say you want to do another 10 PED hunt. Cool. Here's how you should go about doing it if you want to get the best bang for your buck. Most people won't realize, and they'll just be like, okay, I'm going to put all the shrapnel because it's trash. I'm going to put shrapnel into the TT. I'm going to put my muscle oil into the TT, and then I'll have that little bit of extra profit, and I'll go out and I will get another 10 PED worth of weapon cells, and then I'll go out and I'll continue to hunt the puny mobs. Don't do that. Just don't. It's not that big of a deal, but if you want to squeeze every ped, squeeze every penny, you gotta do it in a slightly different way. Instead of, and this is just my opinion, instead of selling the animal muscle oil, put it into your storage. Step 1, put the muscle oil into the storage. All the stackable items that you get, you put that shit into the storage, right? You can use the TT to get an estimate on value of all the things that you've collected to see whether or not you've made a profit in items, but don't sell it to the TT. I know I've sold it to the TT, but in good ethics, you probably shouldn't sell it to the TT if you want to be ethical. You want to keep that shit and then sell it once you've got a big stack of it on the auction house, or to other players for a little bit of a markup, to squeeze all the little PEDs out of stuff. You just want to squeeze it. Now, with the shrapnel, you might think, oh, 10 PED worth of shrapnel, sell it to the trade terminal, get 10 PED worth of weapon cells. Don't do that. Do not do it. Because you're wasting money. Just no. Because what you can do, and now this is for you guys that don't know this, anyone else that does know this, you're going to be like, well, yeah, fucking no shit, dickhead. This is for the people that are 100% new and don't know what they're doing when it comes to economics, and you've decided, I'm going to go on YouTube and look at this Australian guy tell me about how I should be ethical on a video game. Ethical? Economical, not ethical. Not ethical. Economical. Building good money ethics. Being economical. I'm rambling now. What you can do is you can grab that shrapnel and turn it into universal ammunition. And now you'll think, okay, so I just will save some time and turn 10 PED worth of shrapnel into 10 PED worth of universal ammo. I'll save myself maybe half a minute to a minute going back to the trade terminal. Okay, no, that's not the reason. The conversion rate is about 101 to 100, right? So for every 10 PEDs worth of, well, for every 1 PED worth of shrapnel, you're going to get back 1.1 PEDs worth of universal ammo. So if you make back 10 PEDs worth of shrapnel on your 10 PED hunt, you can turn that into 10 PED and 10 PEC worth of universal ammo. I'm going to demonstrate. For those that don't know, I will demonstrate. This is the shrapnel that you get, right? And a lot of people will think, okay, shrapnel, I'll sell it, all that sort of stuff. But here's the conversion rate, right? For every 100, you'll make 101 rounds of universal ammo. This is why you should always look into the item stuff. All the descriptions, you should always read descriptions of items. Shrapnel can be converted into universal ammo by right-clicking on the shrapnel stack and selecting the convert option. And by seeing this, you'll know the conversion rate is, for every 100, makes 101. Sweet. So, for example, I have 1 PED worth of shrapnel. I could sell that to the trade terminal and get 1 PED cash. But if I was planning on hunting some more, then the smart option would be to go convert. So now I've got 10,100 rounds of universal ammo. So say you're on a 10 PED, say you do a 10 PED hunt, and you get 10 PED worth of shrapnel. You can turn that into 10 PED, or 10.10 PED worth of universal ammo. That's how you be a little bit more eco when it comes to the ammunition, right? But let's go a little bit further. Say in that hunt you were able to kill 200. Yeah, let's go with 200 mobs, because maybe you got some good critical hits. Who knows? You killed 200. And the mobs that you were hunting had 17 hit points. Why is this important? Because sweating. When you sweat a creature, you get sweat equal to the amount of health they have once you've drained them dry, right? So now let's say you're just hunting the 17 hit point codded punies near Camp Icarus. Well, if you were to sweat dry and kill 200 of them, well, you'll get, over 3,000. Over 3,000 bottles of sweat. So you would be able to sell that for, I think the thing right now is only like 1 PED per 1,000 bottles of sweat, 1 PED per K. But you'll be able to sell it and get another 3 PEDs on top of it, right? So even if you made back 70% of what you hunted, you made back 70%, you can make that back with the sweat that you were able to acquire. Now, this might not work. This will definitely not work for people that are hunting in hunting big mobs, right? Unless you have a swatting team, going, and you decide, okay, we're going to go out and sweat dry this big ass mob, and then we're going to kill it together. You might do that. But if you're a lone ranger and you're hunting on your own, and you're hunting punies, make sure you sweat them dry if you want to be 100% economical. You want to be 100% eco. Drain them dry of all the sweat that they have on their person. Because at the end of the day, it's more money. You squeeze just a little bit more out. So that is my little bit extra when it comes to eco. Turn your shrapnel into universal ammo. Sweat dry the mob that you're hunting. Sweat them absolutely dry. It will take longer, but you know what? That's not always a bad thing. And you're still going to get skills by doing it. So yeah, if you're hunting punies as a new player, sweat them dry. Turn the shrapnel into universal ammo. Don't use your healing device, and don't use any armor. Most of the time, you're going to break even doing that. Most of the time, you'll break even. Most of the times that I have done a sweat hunt, I have broken even. Nearly all the time, I have broken even. And a lot of the times where I don't break even, it's either by like 5% under, or, a lot more over. Okay? So, my advice for new players, do those things. Turn the universal ammo into shrapnel. Sweat the mob dry. Don't use your armor. Don't use your healing device. And that's the best advice I give for any newbie hunters. Best way to be eco. I know this was more of a talking video and maybe a little bit rambly, but, it's one of those things. You've got to be very specific on how you do things. Or you just do whatever you like. Doesn't really matter. But if you want to be eco, do the things that I've mentioned, and you should come out pretty happy. Go for a test run. Use 2 PED worth of ammo with your weapon. Use 2 PED, go out and do a bit of a swant, see how much you make back while converting the stuff. See what happens. Anyway, that's it for this one. I've talked long enough. You all get it. You all understand. So, I'm going to leave this in you guys' hands. So, if you enjoyed, or if you found this, helpful, leave a nice little comment down below, and leave a thumbs up. If you found it absolutely pointless, thumb it down, call me a cunt in the description, in the comment section. I'm cool with that. And above all else, just have a nice day. It's freaking hot here. It's hot. We broke our temperature records. It's freaking hot here. So warm. And I'm in a warm room with a warm computer. You guys are lucky that I'm doing this. Nah, I would have done it either way. Anyway, stay cool. Have fun hunting. And if you make any profits, or even if you get good globals, let me know down below. Let me know how you go. And goodbye.